There are always new niches to fill, always new horizons to explore. Today, we look at a YouTuber who is exploring the second to last frontier, virtual reality. You may not think you can make a living by going on silly adventures in a VR headset, but oh boy, you sure can. And he's not just successful by himself, either. Within the bizarre world of VR, he hangs out with other YouTube friends, cracking jokes, playing pranks, and generally just having a blast with no time to be bored. Seriously, his editing is fast-paced and wonderful. How can somebody make a living in VR? How can someone explode to success right off the bat? All this and more will be answered as we dive into Mully, the channel we're looking at today. So, Mully, he is a very fascinating channel. His first video raked in about 600,000 views, which, as you can imagine, is pretty unusual. Now, what's interesting about this guy is he originally started by appearing on other YouTubers' videos, and, like, before he even had a channel. I saw some comments saying, like, oh, I saw you on Josh Dub, and I always liked your appearances. I was wondering when you're actually going to make a channel. And then when you did, wow. So this guy, like, he has had good, famous friends for a while, and obviously is very talented in his own right, not to take anything away from him. But I find it interesting that he is so intertwined with other people on the platform and other VR YouTubers, and clearly this is a part of his success. And he's an Australian YouTuber, not that that super matters, but it's yeah, he's a fascinating guy. And like if we take a look at his thumbnails, they're all very cartoonish. He takes characters that within the VR space, he takes the avatars and he just puts them in the thumbnails, and they're very engaging. They're colorful. The faces are hilarious. They're ridiculous. And he's raking in a lot of views here. I mean, Augie, what's your first reaction, like, scrolling through his thumbnails and seeing all this silliness?
I like his thumbnails a lot. I mean, they do a good job of all the stuff we always talk about, kind of creating some curiosity and getting you to want to click. They're pretty funny. You can tell he spends time on them, and a lot of big faces on them. And you can tell that he does put in the work there to make them extra special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're like, definitely if I saw one of his thumbnails amongst lots of other YouTubers' thumbnails, I'm probably likely to click on his because they're so outrageous and colorful and amazing. Now, Mully is sitting at a lifetime subscription number of 5.51 million, which is pretty impressive considering his channel is only about 2 years old. So he has had a meteoric rise. His lifetime views are 638 million, really closer to 639 million. His views in the last 6 months are about 58 million. And, I mean, you know, this just goes to show you this is a guy who maybe has passed his... If he's past his peak at all, he is still doing fantastically. His peak was May of 2020, when he was pulling in over 10 million views a month easily. It was about 15 million views a month. During this time, it's interesting. So this is May of 2020. This was when COVID had just kind of hit. People were just isolating. And then this guy starts releasing content about virtual reality within virtual reality. And I think that timing worked out really well because people were starting to isolate. I mean, Augie, do you think this was part of the reason he was so successful? Kind of as people were isolating, he makes videos in the virtual world?
Yeah, I think it's definitely helped him, you know, during that COVID times, like a lot of creators, it helped them. But for this guy, I think the secret sauce, you already mentioned it, but it's the collabs, right? He's like got the ultimate recipe because like normally to collab with another YouTuber, it's pretty hard, right? Like normally like a good collab would be like, you know, them in the same place making a video together on camera, right? And he's able to do this virtually, which makes it way easier and way more possible to like collab in every single video. So I think that's really the secret to his growth, because I mean look, this is incredible. Like he has he's closing in on 1 billion views, 640 million views, right?
Oh my God.
So like within a year or two, he's going to cross 1 billion, and he only has 264 uploads. You know, like for me in my basketball training channel, Baller Bootcamp, like it's close to 300 videos and only 200,000 subscribers. So this guy's got 5.5 million subscribers. So he like releases banger videos basically every time. And I mean, I could go back to his channel and I'll just take a look at his like most recent. Okay, let's look at his most recent. His most viewed video from 1 year ago looks like it has about 20 million views. So yeah, he's getting like 500,000 views almost on every video. 700, 340. You know, he's getting anywhere from 300 to 700,000 views on every single video. He's releasing 2 videos a week. The guy's getting like 1 million views a week easy just off his new videos, let alone all the old ones that people are watching. So this guy knows what he's doing, and like we already said, his thumbnails are just incredible. And yeah, more props to this guy for releasing good content.
Seriously. And yeah, so the type of content he makes is super interesting. Can we get audio? Like if you click a video, are we able to hear it?
Let me see. I'm not sure 100% on that, but I'll go ahead and hit play.
Sure.
And I would say another secret to his success is he's funny, right? Like I think so many of us create content and it's just boring. I doubt. Can you hear that?
I cannot. No.
Okay, yeah, we're not going to be able to get audio, I don't think, on these. But what were you going to say about that?
So, well, commenting on how funny he is, he's also very fast-paced. So there's never time to be bored in his videos. Like, he'll say something funny, cut to the next funny thing that happens. Maybe it was some interaction he had with one of his friends in VR. But the point is, it jumps from one funny moment to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, for the entire video. Like, there's no breathing room, but not in a bad way. These are really entertaining videos. Like you feel like you're getting concentrated entertainment, and it's fantastic. And they have inside jokes. I mean, their avatars are hilarious. Like you can see them right here. They're like walking cartoons and sort of acting like cartoons. I mean, it's like. I don't want to say a good acid trip, but it's kind of like that, you know? It's a fun time. It's like there's a very obvious reason why these videos are so popular.
Yeah, and with the fast-paced editing and stuff like you mentioned, it really, as I watch his videos, they really kind of remind me of like a Mr. Beast edit, right? You know, like right when the Mr. Beast video starts, it's like, we're giving away $10 million to the first person that can break into this car. When it happens, that's kind of how his videos are. Like they jump right to it, like right to the point. They really hook you in right at the beginning. And the fact that he's using VR and stuff, it's like he can create these storylines almost. And you know that like stories keep you engaged, keep you watching, and keep you hooked in for the long run so they can get that watch time. And so, I would say that definitely the collaboration, the editing style, the quick to the point, and the comedy are like this guy's secret sauce. And I mean, you can tell he's just got some loyal commenters that watch every single video. You know, this is the best one to me. I like Mully videos with Smashing. Anyways, yeah. Smashing gets his revenge. So there's different characters, right, that he has throughout these videos, which is another genius trick.
Totally. Yeah. And I mean, when you have an audience that large and that loyal, something is going right. Now I would like to talk about the monetization of this channel. So Social Blade says that the monthly range for how much he's making off YouTube ad revenue is somewhere between 2.3 thousand to 37,000 per month, which obviously these Social Blade ranges are ridiculous, but I'm guessing like he's easily making around 15 to 20,000 a month just off YouTube ad revenue based on his ads. So that would be a CPM of like 12 to 15-ish, CPM being dollars per 1,000 views. How many dollars do you make per 1,000 views? So this guy just off YouTube ads is doing very well. obviously monetization is a big part of this podcast. We talk about how people make money. So this guy's story is sort of, I mean, it's just ad revenue, and then he'll have the occasional sponsorship. And the only one I could find was Raid Shadow Legends. So if people are unaware of Raid Shadow Legends, it's a mobile game, and they have actually sponsored my channel before as well. And they're kind of a meme, right? They just pay YouTubers way too much money. They pay like probably 3 or 4 times more than the average sponsor. So I'm guessing this guy is making like 80 to 100,000 off of his Raid Shadow Legends sponsorships per video. Maybe that's high, maybe not. Like minimum of $50,000 easily for each Raid Shadow Legend sponsorship. So figure even if he only does like 2 of those a year, that's over $100,000 easily. Plus the ad revenue. So I noticed he has no affiliate links. He doesn't have any merchandise that I can find or like an external website. He does have other YouTube channels, but he's just doing sponsorships and getting ad revenue, and clearly this is working very well for him, especially because he has embraced the meme of Raid Shadow Legends. Good for him.
Yeah, and you know, we always talk about you need other ways to monetize your channel than just ad revenue, but like it's a lot harder in some niches. And like for him, he's in a niche where it's more like mass appeal. So like, you know, his audience can be huge, and like one of the things he has done is grown very quickly. He's grown an audience very quickly. You know, so you know, you said let's say he's getting 10 million views in a month. That's what he is getting on average or more. That's kind of like the minimum. So 10 million views at, let's just say, a $10 CPM is a lot. That's $100,000 a month right there. So, you know, imagine if you're able to get that kind of viewership, then you don't need the other monetization strategies. If your niche is quilting and making quilts, you're not going to get 10 million views a month in that niche, right? So you might get, you know, 100,000 views a month, and that might be kind of where you could top out in that niche, or, you know, maybe it could be more, but in that instance, then you need to find other ways to monetize, right? You need a course on how to quilt. You need to sell your actual quilts at a premium. You need to, you know, have affiliate links to sewing machines and that kind of stuff. But in this niche, right, like I said, it's mass appeal. It's funny. It's in the video game niche in general is just such a giant industry that for him, he can get away with just doing the ad revenue thing. And you know, maybe we should talk a little bit about his growth, because didn't he have some kind of like crazy growth? His channel, you guys, is only like 2 or not even 3 years old, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like 2.5 years old, and his first video got over 600,000 views, which is crazy. But I mean, clearly he knew other big YouTubers, Josh Dub being one of them, and that helped him grow. He clearly got attention by appearing on these other people's videos before he was even making videos. So this contributed to his growth, but obviously people are only going to stay and keep watching if they like what they see. So as far as his growth, I think him being in with all these other virtual reality YouTubers, combined with the weird times that we live in where people are kind of expected to socially isolate. Now these digital landscapes, for better or worse, probably worse, have become like the main hangout place for a lot of people and teenagers. I mean, virtual real estate is a thing. Somebody paid like $400,000 to have a piece of virtual real estate right next to Snoop Dogg. So they're neighbors in the metaverse with Snoop Dogg. These are the times we live in. And Mully is coming into these times with big friends, with talent, with great editing, and it's working. It's really working, and his growth reflects that for sure. And I think earlier I said he was getting like 15 million views a month. I meant over 50 million. I think his peak was 72 million a month in May of 2020. And like right place, right time, great stuff. Like, I mean, what else do you have to say about his growth, Augie?
Well, one thing I'll mention is, you know, in that month, we're talking about April of 2020 and May of 2020. In April of 2020, he got 59 million views. And then the next month, 72 million views. And in those 2 months alone, he added 1.8 million subscribers in those 2 months. 1.8 million in just 2 months. So that's like a game-changing 60 days right there. Like you go from like, am I going to be able to make money on YouTube and do this full time to like, okay, you have an asset, you've created an asset that's worth a lot. Like businesses would die, you know, Oculus would die to purchase this YouTube channel. He could probably sell it, you know, honestly, like a business. But about his growth, yeah, I mean, like I think this might be the biggest growth I've ever seen on a new YouTube channel. I've never seen somebody go from 0 to 5 million subscribers and 600 million views in 2.5 years. That's got to be unheard of. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So I mean, that's good for him. He's breaking down barriers. He needs to start teaching other people what he's done and what the things he's learned and how he is able to keep these viewers engaged and watching. Is he looking at his analytics? Is he going back and saying, oh, I should make more of these kind of videos, my community really likes it? Or is he just saying, hey, I'm just going to do what I like, I'm going to do what I want to do? And so that's a question that I have. Do you think he scripts his videos?
I think he goes into his videos knowing, like, all right, this is going to be our shtick for the day. Like, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. But it's like a rough outline that just gets filled in with banter and funny jokes and improv and things like that. So, you know, his videos are probably like 10% scripted, I would say. And then the rest is just pure having fun in the moment.
Yeah, and he does a good job too. All his videos are like 10 to 20, sometimes even 30 minutes long. And with good editing and just funny jokes and stuff and his personality, like I'm sure people are watching these videos all the way through, and that's truly the reason for his growth. He's been able to kind of trigger that algorithm to promote all his videos out because, like I said, it's a new channel. Like this video right here, 8 months ago, 1.4 million views. The video before that, 1.5 million views. You know, the algorithm is definitely pushing these out. So good for him.
Yeah, seriously. And I believe the first video he released that really blew up was Minecraft VR. Like he was getting hundreds of thousands of views before that. And then it was, yeah, he was playing a game called Pavlov. And then, well, okay, he did have one video that wasn't Minecraft VR that got 2.6 million. But then he releases a Minecraft video, 1.5 million. And then kind of after this, he starts getting millions of views on most of his videos. Yeah, this is just, I mean, this is a meteoric rise. And I think a big part of this is like, there's enough people with virtual reality headsets to where they're like interested in this. But there's not enough people with virtual reality headsets to where there's a lot of people making content about it. So it's kind of a perfect storm of, like, it's a really big niche, but it's not very occupied yet, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people wanting to watch it, but, you know, it costs, like, to get a legit virtual reality headset set up to record and as well as he does, it's going to be over $1,000, probably. Like, including microphone and everything. Like, not many people are going to be willing to take that risk, that financial risk, to do this. And so, I mean, he's really nailed this new technology. I'm impressed.
Yeah, you know, you made a good point there about an untapped niche, right? Like, there's new industries and stuff popping up all the time. I mean, if you just pay attention to the tech space enough, you know, there's going to be new topics coming up that you could make a YouTube channel around. I mean, just think, like, take AI, right? Artificial intelligence, like, that's on the rise. That's going to, you know, the searches on Google about that kind of stuff are going up and up and up. And you could be the expert in that field by being kind of one of the first channels to kind of tackle that. And it kind of seems like that's what he's done, although he's done it like just in such an eloquent way by combining comedy and just like, his videos are just funny. It's like, if I was to take like Dave Chappelle or like an incredible comedian and they were to start a YouTube channel on a certain topic and they're just so funny, like, they're going to do well because that's going to keep people watching. People are going to enjoy the content. So like, you really not everybody can just go onto YouTube and have success. You really do have to kind of be able to create good content. I mean, a dentist hopping on there and just talking about boring dentistry stuff, like, okay, you might be able to get some growth, but if you jump on there and talk about dentistry stuff and be really funny about it, that's going to really kind of separate you from the bunch and allow you to get that major growth.
Totally. Yep. And one thing I think is interesting, so he's really leaning into his relationship with his friends and other YouTubers, obviously. And they've kind of taken things to the next level. They have this channel called The Boys Extra. So that they refer to themselves as The Boys. And The Boys Extra is they do mostly face cam on there. So this is a channel where they kind of you can see everybody's faces, you can see them all hanging out, and it kind of adds a layer of depth to your parasocial relationship with these people. And I think this is a very smart move. All of these people, whether it's Josh Dub or Molly, they have their own individual channels, obviously. And then The Boys Extra, it's I think they're very smart to give different types of content on different channels. And what I saw on The Boys Extra, it wasn't virtual reality a lot of the time. It was normal video games, but with face cam. And so, do you think this is part of a bigger move? Do you think what is their goal with this kind of new channel where it shows all the faces? What do you think, Augie?
Yeah, I think it's a great way to kind of be in the same kind of world and have the same viewers, but give them different type of content, because we talk about burning out on the same kind of content or hitting creative blocks and stuff all the time. So I think it's a good move. Is this the right channel that I'm on right here, The Boys? I see there's a couple. I think they have a multiple one. So this one has 3 million subscribers.
It's called The Boys Extra. So
okay, I see that down here. So I think this is all part of their network, I think.
Yeah, I think
is my guess. Because I'm seeing some of the same characters, right, from the other videos and stuff. And there's also The Boys Extra, like you mentioned, and that has 430,000 subscribers.
So I believe the Boys Extra is a video game channel, and then the one you're on right now is kind of, it almost reminds me of BuzzFeed type things, the worst Uber Eats orders. So it's more of a real life channel. So they're really covering all the bases here.
Yeah, and The Boys Extra, right, 430,000 subscribers. They just started this channel 4 months ago. And they're doing it looks like reaction videos, and it's well produced as well, looks like, just from hovering over a few thumbnails and stuff. So I like that move. I think what could very possibly happen with these kind of guys is maybe the VR channel eventually kind of starts to die down, and people just aren't as interested in it, or maybe the creator himself is just kind of over it and not interested in the second win that he's going to catch on YouTube is going to be with one of these other channels, right? That could be really the one that transcends him into YouTube fame and allows him to be almost like a PewDiePie or a maybe a Smosh type channel. Just because, in my opinion, I go on YouTube for the personalities, right? You don't get to see the face or anything on the video game channel, which is okay. He's obviously doing well with it, but eventually maybe that audience is going to grow up and not be into VR video games and that kind of rude, crude jokes. So I like the idea of doing this.
Yeah, me too. Because they, as you said, as kind of the popularity of certain things may wax and wane, but because they have their hands in so many places, they can kind of focus on what works. And not have to worry too much about this is drying up. It's it's a smart move. While you have eyeballs on you, it's smart to expand your horizons as much as possible, and diversify is the word.
Yeah, and this channel here, I'm on the Social Blade now for The Boys. It only has 100 uploads. They have 3 million subscribers, 307 million lifetime views, and in the last 30 days. They got 25, or in January of 2020, they got 25 million views. So, God, across all these different channels, these guys are bringing in incredible number of views. And I mean, if you add this to the other channel, the Molly channel was at like 640 million. This one's at 310 million. So I mean, technically, they do have a billion views to their name, and yeah, they know they. My guess is that they are looking at their analytics and they are working to create banger videos every single time that their audience will enjoy, because I mean, this growth is just kind of unreal, honestly.
Yeah, like you can see their most recent month is actually their most successful month in yeah, like as you said, 25 million, but that's like the highest it goes. It's
Yeah.
like this is just the beginning.
Yep. All right. What else?
Um well, so Augie, do you own a virtual reality headset? If not, would you ever own one?
I do not own one, but I've used one. My nephew has an Oculus. And yeah, I could definitely see myself buying one in the near future, because not maybe not to play a ton of video games, although they are fun, but to be able to enter the metaverse, man, I feel like I'll be left behind if I don't at least interact in there somewhat.
Totally. Yeah, virtual reality is super interesting. One of the first times I used it, I think I used it for about half an hour. It was this kind of like, barely, it was like a shipbuilding game. You kind of like managed an aircraft carrier. It was like one of the first VR games where they were trying to figure out what the hell they can even do with this. But after being in it for like half an hour, I took off the headset and I seriously felt like I was in a new dimension or something. It was like a reality shock, you know? It's so weird how you put on these things and you're in a totally new place, and then you take them off, and then you're back in like the real world. It's seriously like some Ready Player One stuff. It it was like messing with me a little. So I see why like this medium is so powerful. You know, it's like it affects your brain in a real way.
Yeah, and like I said with the metaverse and stuff, like there's like I think it's kind of, there's two sides to it, right? For me, it's like, I don't know if I like the idea of everybody just sitting at home all day, 24/7, and just interacting in this virtual world. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, well, if everybody is going to eventually be doing that, where's the opportunity, right? Where's the business opportunity? Where's the content opportunity? Where's just, yeah, where's the opportunity to make some money in the metaverse, you know? So that's what I'm excited about. I know like NFTs and everything are going to be a lot bigger once the metaverse becomes popular. Like you already mentioned, the real estate that's getting purchased. Like I think that it would be a smart move to own some real estate in the early days there. That could, eventually be worth a lot more. But we'll just have to wait and see. But when the time comes soon enough, I'm definitely going to get a headset and be in there.
Yeah, likewise. At some point I'll probably set up sensors all in my room and have a headset. I do not currently own one, but and I will say it does comfort me that they have channels where they're kind of reacting to videos or talking about things in real life. Like, it's not all contained within virtual reality. And again, I don't want to sound like a boomer who's like, beware virtual reality. But I like that there's real life still happening in this world. It's probably healthy for the youngins.
Yeah, and I'm more excited about AR, right? Augmented
Yeah.
reality, where, we just have these glasses on and we're in the real world, but there's, I can look over and see, oh, hey, look, my buddy's avatar is going to come hang out with us while we're just, playing some soccer. He's going to just kind of watch and hang out and heckle us and stuff while we're doing whatever we're doing. I like the idea of that, and so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I think like there's opportunity there, right? AR. Who's going to be the main YouTube channel of AR? Well, whoever does do it, do this: collaborate, be funny, and just follow the lead of the Molly channel that we just broke down.
Seriously, and the next wave of AR YouTubers, I think, is going to be hilarious. Where everybody's walking around with an augmented reality headset, and as long as somebody has an augmented reality headset, then they will see me as a hot dog, because a hot dog will be my avatar, and that's the dream, right? You can just be whatever you want. You could be a hot dog, you could be a hamburger, you could be a grasshopper. The future will be bright for sure.
Yeah, and that's what Mully did too, right? I mean, his characters and stuff in all his videos, I don't know if they're custom characters or just part of these games, but some of them look like they're like custom characters. Do you know? Do you know if they are or not?
Yeah, I believe they're custom characters, and like so there's actually people you can pay to make virtual reality models. I don't know if that's exactly how this worked, but yeah, these look like custom characters, and there's a whole market of people whose profession is to 3D model these virtual reality models, and you can buy them, and it's a real thing.
And there's a YouTube channel right there, right? Do you have the skills to make these kind of, VR characters or avatars? Well, people would probably love to learn how to do that and would love to follow you as in your journey of making a career out of this. So you could be the first to do that as well. I mean, that would probably be a really cool YouTube channel, honestly.
Oh yeah, totally. Like just crafting these complicated models in 3D space. It sounds fascinating. And if there's anything I've learned from Mully and his group of boys, it's that if there's something that you enjoy doing and you're having great times with it, like sometimes you can just start putting it on the internet with some good editing, and you can make it big for real. And that's not to say like, hey, if you have fun doing this, just record it, and you can be famous too. You could end up just sort of poisoning a thing that was genuine and pure. But if you're smart about it, you can have a good time and make lots of money. It's a weird line to walk, sort of combining your fun times with content creation. But I mean, this is proof that you can do it well and make a good living.
Yeah, I totally agree, Grant. All right, well, hey, what else can we talk about this channel? If not anything, let's go ahead and wrap this one up.
Sure. It's still finding its footing in the gaming world. However, it is niche enough to not have fulfilled its full potential while still garnering millions of views for several channels. Let this be a lesson that new technology can bring success Let this be a lesson that new technology can bring success if you know how to use it and be entertaining on the new medium. People are feeling very isolated these days, so perhaps seeing a bunch of dudes get together in a digital landscape is soothing and comforting to many people. If they can have fun without leaving their house, then why can't I? Mully is also proof that success on YouTube is best shared. He's got big pals whose followings all blend into one another. Let's not forget that friendships and fortunes can happen in the most unlikely of places, even inside of virtual reality. Take care, everyone. Oh yeah, and then the subscribe thing. So it's subscribe to us if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, it's cool. I think that ended pretty nicely. We don't need it.
Okay, cool.
Cool. I'll hit stop.